What would you do if the day you decided to end your life turned out to be the exact day the world actually ended? The movie begins with a girl named Sloan sitting in the bathtub, reviewing the suicide note she just wrote, preparing to end her life. But at that exact moment, she hears her father arriving, so she is forced to go sit with him for breakfast. While eating, Sloan complains about everything because her sister used to do things differently. Her father gets tired of this, tells her they must move on with their lives, and holds her face to check if she is truly sick, concluding that she isn't. Sloan says she isn't hungry, but her father insists she eat something. Suddenly, someone starts banging heavily on the door, screaming and begging for help. As her father goes to the door to see what is happening, Sloan starts hearing all kinds of chaos coming from outside. More screaming, ambulance sirens, and cars crashing into each other. When her father returns, there is blood on his clothes, and he tells her they must leave immediately. Sloan grabs her jacket before heading outside and notices the utter chaos that has taken over the city. It turns out the zombie apocalypse has begun, and people are being chased everywhere. A female zombie spots Sloan and charges at her, but thankfully, her father pulls her back inside just in time and slams the door in the zombie's face. Sloan and her father barely manage to back away from the door before they hear their window shattering and the alarm going off. It turns out a zombie has breached their house. The father attacks it immediately, and they fight on the ground until the zombie bites his arm. He grabs a piece of broken glass from the floor and stabs the zombie in the chest several times, but nothing happens. When he finally stabs it in the eye and reaches its brain, it dies. Terrified by what she just witnessed, Sloan flees the house and runs down the street with zombies chasing after her. A day later, Sloan is hiding out with other teenagers at the high school. Trey notices there is only one car left in the garage, so the group enters the principal's office to search for the keys. There is a dead man on the floor, and growling sounds can be heard nearby. Carrie creeps forward cautiously until he finds the principal, who has turned into a zombie, and beats him down with a telephone. After taking the keys, Carrie says they must barricade the doors. The teenagers start working together to do so, but Sloan is extremely shaken up and hides in a corner. She pulls out her phone and tries to make a call, but is interrupted by Reese, who checks on her. He asks if she was bitten, and she confesses that she doesn't know. The two then join the others in the gym, where they try to use a radio to catch any news, but they find nothing but an emergency broadcast playing on a continuous loop. The message tells citizens to stay in place because help is arriving soon. Reese tries to comfort Sloan, who begins to flash back to what happened. While fleeing the zombies, Sloan had to dodge driving cars and tried to enter a house, but it was locked, so she jumped over a fence to escape a zombie at the last second. She then kept running and hid behind a small tree when she saw someone approaching, but it turned out to be Reese and Carrie. The teenagers head back together to the main street, where they find Karen, Trey's mother, crawling out of a crashed car. Trey runs to check on her, and the others also find his twin sister, Grace. Karen is injured, but tells the kids to keep moving. Moments later, the group arrives at a recreation center surrounded by a massive, chaotic crowd of people trying to get inside. A soldier on the balcony tells everyone to stand back because there is only room for one more person. Trey tries to protect his mother, but the crowd keeps pushing them away carelessly. When someone suddenly opens fire, the group agrees to leave. That night, the group hides inside an abandoned, random house. Karen tries to turn on the lights, but Carrie immediately shuts them off, scolding her harshly. He explains that they must not draw attention to themselves and wonders aloud if they should have just left her to die. She replies that she was only checking if there was electricity and points out that the zombies would find them anyway if Carrie kept raising his voice. She theorizes that zombies are attracted to sound and threatens to hurt Carrie if he speaks to her that way again. They look around and find some blood next to an overturned table, as well as a bat, which Carrie takes. Trey announces that the second floor is secure, so the group heads upstairs. Carrie believes they should stay downstairs, but Karen argues that upstairs is safer. They argue over who gets to make the decisions, and Karen reveals that she and her kids escaped their home by climbing out of a window onto the roof. Later, Karen treats her wound while the teenagers try to rest. After a while, Sloan falls asleep and dreams of memories of her family. The next morning in the flashback, her sister Lily wakes Sloan up for school after stealing money from their sleeping father's wallet. Lily helps brush her sister's hair. Sloan worries about being late for school, so Lily says they can take their dad's car because he won't notice. Suddenly, Sloan's mood shifts as she admits she knows Lily is planning to move out. She doesn't blame her for it, but she doesn't want to be left alone living with their father. Lily reminds her of their motto, day by day, and promises she won't let their father hurt them again. The girls then head to school, and Lily gives Sloan a birthday card. Sloan is grateful, but leaves it in the car, promising to open it later. Back in the present, everyone wakes up to a loud noise. They run downstairs and see a broken window just before a zombie tries to attack Carrie. He dodges the creature instantly and repeatedly beats it with the bat, while Karen notices that more zombies are approaching the house. To avoid getting trapped, The group has no choice but to run. They run through the city for a long time until Carrie spots their high school in the distance. They agree it's the best place to hide because the windows are barred with iron. After Carrie says the path is clear, Karen steps ahead first, and a zombie spots her immediately. She yells at the kids to run to the school while she acts as bait. The zombies quickly surround and devour her while the teenagers run. A zombie attacks Sloan, knocking her to the ground. Carrie tries to help her, but another zombie knocks him down too, causing him to lose his bat in the chaos. Reese runs to grab the bat, while Carrie kicks the zombie off him to free himself. Reese then kills the zombie attacking Sloan, leaving her drenched in blood. The teenagers keep running and finally climb inside the school. After barricading all the doors, the group decides to rest in the gym. Later, Sloan wakes up from a nightmare, reaches into her pocket, and finds her suicide note. After a quick read, she goes to the bathroom to throw up and wash off all the blood. Another flashback occurs, showing Lily covered in bruises, telling Sloan that she is leaving. Sloan wants to go with her, but because she is a minor, the police would hunt her down. At that moment, their father bursts into the room and starts screaming at Sloan for not doing well in school, calling her a disgrace. When Lily tries to defend her sister, her father strikes her. Lily screams back, insulting him and saying that this is why their mother left them. Her father hits her again, knocking her to the floor. Lily declares that she will never come back and leaves the house. Back in the present, the kids find some food. Carrie wants to discuss what they should do next, but Trey interrupts and blames him for Karen's death, since he was the one who said the path was clear. Carrie swears he didn't lie and says the zombies just moved incredibly fast out of nowhere. Trey punches Carrie and a fight breaks out. The others are forced to break it up. Feeling completely overwhelmed, Sloan leaves the gym. A little later, Grace finds her and gives her some clean clothes she found. They go to the bathroom to wash up. As Sloan takes off her clothes, all the bruises inflicted by her father are revealed, but there are no bite marks. Grace takes the opportunity to ask her what she saw out on the street, and Sloan replies that she saw the same thing everyone else did. Moments later, Sloan is running desperately through the school until she collapses in front of the main entrance. She notices that zombies are banging on the doors, trying to get in. Sloan runs back to the gym and learns from the others that zombies are gathering at all exits, meaning they need to build more barricades. A while later, once all doors are secured, the teenagers head to the library. They notice there are no zombies at that specific exit and realize it's because of the high fence surrounding the courtyard leading to the street. They realize this is where they will have to go if they ever need to escape. Later, Sloan can no longer stand sitting in the gym because she keeps hearing the zombies outside, so she decides to sleep in a corner instead. Reese comes to check on her, and they talk about the situation, wondering if their families are still alive. Suddenly, they hear an explosion, and the entire building shakes. All the teenagers run to the front door, and Trey and Carrie start arguing over whether to open it. Sloan simply pulls back a poster to look outside, and is shocked to see the zombies walking away. In the distance, they can see fire and smoke rising from a gas station. After eating lunch, Trey demands the keys from Carrie because he wants to scout the area. Reese and Sloan go with him for safety. The three find a bottle of alcohol in the teacher's lounge and immediately take it back to the gym to play a drinking game. They try to confess funny things about their lives, but the game ends on a depressing note when they discover that none of them has ever been in love. That night, Sloan is sleeping when a hand touches her face. She sits up, feeling something strange behind her. She turns around to find her father vomiting blood and screaming at her, but at that exact moment, she wakes up. It was just a nightmare. She walks out into the hallway to get some water and senses something moving behind her. When she turns around, nothing is there. Terrified, Sloan wakes the others and tells them someone has broken in. They head to the library and hear a sound coming from a closet. When they open it, they are shocked to find their teacher, Mr. Baxter, asleep with a gun in his hand. Sloan takes the gun, and Baxter wakes up instantly, desperate to find his weapon. The teenagers hide the gun before taking Baxter to the gym to feed him. Baxter praises the group's teamwork on the barricades, but when they ask how he got into the school, he claims he can't remember. No one believes him, especially when he mentions that the situation in the city has grown much worse. Sloan questions why he was watching her in the hallway, but he claims he wasn't watching anyone and was just checking on the strange noises he heard. After Baxter leaves to take a shower, the teenagers discuss the gun, and Reese states they shouldn't use it unless absolutely necessary. Sloan admits she doesn't trust Baxter. Meanwhile, Carrie takes Baxter to the showers. When Baxter undresses, Carrie notices something. He runs back to the gym and tells the others that Baxter is infected. He grabs the gun from Reese, hoping to kill him. Reese argues that they need more proof than just a random random wound, and an argument ensues. Suddenly, Baxter interrupts them, swearing he isn't infected. Carrie points the gun at him and demands to see the wound, but Baxter runs away instead. The group chases him immediately, managing to tackle and pin him down, though the gun gets knocked away in the process. They look at his arm and confirm he has a nasty bite mark. Sloan grabs the gun, and Trey and Carrie tell her to shoot, but Reese begs her to wait. As they start arguing again, Baxter yells that he will leave just to shut them up. At the main entrance, Baxter tells his story. He was running through the city looking for the school when he met another survivor, and they decided to stick together. When they finally reached the school, they found all entrances blocked by zombies, except for one broken window. Baxter climbed in first, but didn't reach out to pull his friend in quickly enough. Zombies grabbed the man's legs and began tearing into his flesh. Baxter finally grabbed his hand to pull him inside, but the survivor responded by biting Baxter's arm. Once they were both inside, Baxter shut the window and noticed his friend's legs were completely mangled, so he beat him to death before he could turn. When the kids ask which window he used, Baxter says it was the boiler room window. However, they consider this proof that he is lying and cast him out. As Carrie opens the door to push him out, Baxter grabs Carrie's arm and bites it. Even though Baxter insists he isn't infected, the others force the door open and throw him out. Afterwards, Trey argues that they must kick Carrie out as well, but the group refuses. Grace takes Carrie to the nurse's office to clean his wound. He will spend the next few hours there until they figure out what to do. As she leaves, Grace locks the door with a key, and Reese mentions he believes Carrie is uninfected. Later, Reese hands Sloan her suicide note, which he found on the library floor. He can't believe she tried to end her life and wonders why she is fighting so hard to survive now. Sloan changes the subject, asking how Reese knows if someone is uninfected. He explains that if someone is infected, their body becomes ice cold, something he learned from watching his own father turn into a zombie. That new zombie had attacked his mother, meaning she was bitten too. Meanwhile, Grace and Carrie decide to inspect the boiler room. There, they find the broken window and a dead body, confirming Baxter's story. The two return to the gym to inform the others, but they have even bigger news. The sound Sloan heard was actually coming from a radio, broadcasting a message inviting survivors to a sanctuary in Radford. The group debates what to do. Trey says he wants to stay because they are safe here and have supplies, but Carrie points out that the food is running out. As another argument breaks out, Sloan leaves the gym. Walking down the hallway, she is startled to find a body on the floor. Upon closer inspection, it turns out to be Baxter, who is severely injured but still moving. Sloan calls the others immediately, and Grace steps forward to help him. Reese notices that Baxter has a fresh bite mark and hears Grace mention that he is ice cold. He tries to warn her, but unfortunately, it is too late. Baxter completes his transformation, tackles Grace to the ground, and tries to bite her. Sloan grabs him from behind to stop him, and Trey fires the gun with a shaking hand. The bullet barely grazes Baxter, just enough to make him let go of the girls. Carrie grabs the gun and shoots him in the head. Afterward, Grace tries to move, only to discover that the bullet hit her in the stomach. Trey rushes to her side, and they both collapse. Ultimately, Grace dies in her brother's arms, and Trey clings to her body in absolute despair. Later in the gym, Sloan offers her condolences to Carrie, who remarks that they were the biggest fools in the world for having hope. When Trey enters the gym, Sloan tries to speak to him, but he suddenly starts hitting her, blaming her because the shot missed since she was standing in his way. Reese and Carrie pull him away from her, and Sloan leaves the gym. In the hallway, Sloan throws a chair out of sheer frustration. Looking down, she is shocked to find her phone on the floor with a message from Lily telling her to come home because the place is safe now. When she shows the message to Reese and Carrie, they point out that the message is old, so they can't know if it's still true. Sloan breaks down, determined that they must leave. The boys agree to help her. In the morning, the group gathers as many supplies as they can carry. Sloan goes to look for Trey, who is in a room with Grace's body. He apologizes for what happened, and Sloan says she would have done the same thing for her sister, forgiving him. Trey thanks her before using the gun to end his own life. After taking the gun, the remaining three finally leave the school. There are several bodies in the street as they pass by, but the zombies begin to wake up. Reese kills one with the bat, and Sloan tries to shoot, but she is out of ammo. The teenagers start running at full speed. They eventually find a car and intentionally set off its alarm. As the zombies surround the car, the three manage to escape. When they reach a nice-looking house, they see more bodies around, so they walk cautiously to avoid waking them. They move through the backyard to stay hidden and find the back door locked. Carrie forces it open using a crowbar. Unfortunately, this triggers a house alarm, but they quickly rush inside and smash it immediately. After barricading the door, Sloan looks into the living room and discovers that the homeowner ended his life using a knife. At that moment, they hear zombies approaching the house. Carrie volunteers to distract them, promising to meet up with them later. Carrie runs outside, and the zombies follow him immediately, giving Sloan and Reese the chance to escape safely. Moments later, the two find Sloan's house, but there are zombies wandering in front of the main door. They hide under a neighboring house, house and agree to wait until the zombies leave before going out. One of the zombies starts walking very close to their hiding spot, forcing the two to freeze in place as they watch it pass by. After a few hours, the street is finally empty. Sloan and Reese run to her house, but find the front door locked, so they head to the backyard. Sloan starts climbing the wall and almost falls, but manages to catch herself. Once she reaches her bedroom window, she climbs inside, and Reese follows shortly after. They begin searching the house, and Sloan goes to the living room, where she finds Lily on the couch. Unfortunately, when Lily turns around, it's revealed she has turned into a zombie and attacks Sloan. The sisters fight on the floor. Sloan screams Lily's name, which causes the zombie to freeze momentarily, but Lily quickly begins snarling again. Sloan is left with no choice but to kill her with the crowbar. Reese comforts a devastated Sloan as she breaks down. Nearby, their father's body is also lying dead on the floor. Later in the garage, Sloan finally opens her birthday card, which is filled with words of love and support from her sister Lily. She decides to throw away her suicide note and keep the card instead. After that, she and Reese get into her father's car and drive out of the city to try and find the sanctuary. And that is the end of the movie. See you in the next recap, and thank you for watching.